Hey guys, it's Abhiram here. Welcome back to another episode of DRIVETERRAIN. Finally, I have with me today the all-new 6th generation Honda CR-V. So this car launched in this market in November of last year, and I have been waiting for a test drive, and I finally got one. So this right here is a full option touring model. It is all-wheel drive, comes in at about 160,900 dirhams. Yeah, CR-Vs are not as cheap as they used to be. It starts at around 124,900 for the base DX. Then you have the LX at 126,900 and the EX all-wheel drive, which comes in at 145,900. So that is the variant which is closer in terms of features to this full option touring model. The CR-V has quite a long history in this region. I mean, it is one of the fierce competitors to the Toyota RAV4 and the Mazda CX-5 and the Nissan X-Trail, to name a few. We've pretty much got every generation of CR-V in this market, and the 5th generation CR-V, I did review it. I did do a detailed walk around of it, so you can check it out in the link below. So that was the 5th generation CR-V, and here we are today with the 6th generation new model. So exterior styling on the CR-V, well, it's massively improved compared to the old CR-V. You've got a much more modern, sharp and edgy looking styling compared to the old curvy and rounded design. Looks much more modern in my opinion, looks really great. So it's kind of similar to the modern Honda design language that you see with like the Pilot and the HR-V as well. And the grille, well, it does get a gloss black finish. You get these hexagonal elements as well, which looks really nice. You get this chrome finish around the grille, which really looks great. You get full LED headlamps with LED DRLs. It does get this piano black cap as well, which kind of separates it and looks really great from the front. You get LED fog lamps as well. And by the way, these do have auto high beam assist as well. And yeah, so you get LED fog lamps. You get actual functional vents. These are not fake vents. They do actually have holes in them. And a very un-CR-V like spec on this particular CR-V. I mean, it's got like a very funky color theme with this bright red and the silver finishing over here. It's very un-CR-V like normally the CR-Vs I see on the road are finishing like white or black or very mundane colors, whereas this one is finished in a very nice combination, which I think looks pretty good. Well, coming to the side profile, it still pretty much is a CR-V. You've got this chrome lining which goes around the windows. You've got chrome on these mirrors, which by the way do auto fold from the inside. You do have LED indicators on them as well. You get 18-inch blacked out alloy wheels on this touring all-wheel drive model. Looks a bit sporty in my opinion. The lower trims get 17-inch wheels. Then you get keyless entry and go, so you place your hand in the door handle, it will unlock, and then place your finger on the indent, it will lock as well. This car also does get some additional accessories like a side step, a puddle lamp below the door as well, which projects CR-V on the ground, which looks pretty cool. And overall, yeah, it's got CR-V-like styling, but looks much better from the side profile, doesn't it? And the refreshed styling continues at the back with full LED taillight clusters. So you get LED indicators, LED taillights, and LED reverse lamps as well. You get a chrome strip joining both the lights as well, which however isn't a single strip. It's actually two separate pieces if you look closely, which is quite interesting. Bit of a quirk, but anyways. You do get a CR-V all-wheel drive badging as well, and a lot of cladding here in the back. You get a diffuser-like sort of treatment on the bumper as well. Actual real dual exhausts with these chrome tips that they've put as a garnish. So yeah, that's actually quite impressive considering that now many well-known manufacturers do fake exhausts at the back. However, Honda has been real and they've given us proper dual exhausts. So that's a pretty neat touch. Now at the back, let's discover the boot space. So to discover the boot space, there's actually two ways you can do it. One is obviously by just clicking the button here beneath the tailgate, or you can even wave your foot below the bumper. So just do this and the tailgate will open. Pretty impressive, no beeping. So in the back, well, you've actually got plenty of space. So I'll actually fold down these seats first to demonstrate this space with the third row down. So with the third row down, you get about 600-ish liters of boot space. I don't have an exact figure because I didn't get one from Honda Middle East, but yeah, as you can see in the back, it's got adequate space. You can put like two medium-sized suitcases in here, no problem. And you also do get a rack for like organizing the boot as well. So this is actually removable. You can actually take it out. You can even put it back in. So there's actually a place where it slots into place. There's again another storage space here below where you can keep some things. You do get a 12-volt charging socket at the back, lighting in the rear, as well. And for other amenities in the back, well, there is actually a bottle holder here for the third row, which I'll talk about more when I get in the third row. But other than that, yeah, it's quite spacious in the back. So you can fold up the third row of seats as well. And still you have just about space to keep like maybe 2 backpacks. So not a lot of space, but it is spacious enough, as you can see. And you can further fold down the second row of seats in a 60-40 split as well to get even more space. So yeah, overall practicality is a win for the Honda CR-V. So let's talk about interiors on the Honda CR-V, and this personally is my favorite part about the whole car. The interiors are just simply amazing. I mean, be it in terms of user friendliness or in terms of the materials used, overall it does feel like quite a premium cabin. You know, you've got the solid Honda build quality, so nothing rattles, there's no vibrations, everything feels solid and sturdy as it should be. You've got physical buttons, dials and knobs for everything that matters, and they have a very satisfying click to it. I am really impressed by this. Other auto manufacturers should learn from this. Please keep physical buttons, dials and knobs. Do not put everything into the touchscreen. But other than that, yeah, you've got leather seats, which are really nice, comfortable, 8-way power adjustment for the driver's seat, 4-way for the passenger seat. The driver's seat does get a memory function as well. Practicality is also a strong suit of the CR-V still. You do get a lot of space everywhere to keep your things. So large bottle holders, you've got space in the door cards, you've got space here to keep your phone and purse, you've got a wireless charger, cup holders with spring triggers. But I think the center armrest bit was better done on the previous CR-V, as in you had much more configuration options. In the new one, however, you just have one tray that you can move around, and that is pretty much it. But still is spacious and it's massive, so there's a lot of space. Let's talk about multimedia. So you get a 9-inch touchscreen infotainment screen, which comes with wireless CarPlay and Android Auto. Pretty smooth and easy to use, nothing to complain about really. Yeah, just perfectly executed, the same screen that you find in every other Honda. So yeah, that's for the touchscreen. No branded sound system, so yeah, it gets an 8-speaker sound system from Honda, so no Bose or no fancy names here. So that's for the sound system. Coming down below, you get this large mesh vent for the AC vents. They do come with these joystick-like controls to adjust the AC vents as well. Very satisfying to use, and they do feel quite solid in quality as well. They do have a nice dampening to it. It feels great, you know, it feels really nice. You do get this plastic kind of wood trim going on the dash, giving that premium feel. However, I don't think that's real wood. If it is, well done Honda. You get buttons here for your climate control. You've got a two USB-C ports, one for charging, one for multimedia, a 12-volt charging socket, the Qi wireless charger. You've got an econ button, hill descent control, your electronic parking brake, brake hold. So what that does is basically it holds the brakes while you are stopped at a traffic light, so you don't have to keep your foot depressed on the pedal. Very useful feature in stop and go traffic. So yeah, appreciate that. And other than that, coming to the actual steering wheel itself, leather wrapped, feels really good in the hand. You do get paddle shifters behind as well. Well, it's a CVT, so I don't get the point of paddle shifters, but yeah, you've got paddle shifters. Volume controls and all the multimedia controls on the left. On the right, you've got your cruise control, Honda sensing features, so adaptive cruise control, lane keep assist and all that. You can even set the distance of the cruise control from the front car. So you've got all those buttons there, and it feels really nice in the hand, perfectly shaped. It's got the correct indents. It feels really good in the hand. 10 on 10, no questions asked. The instrument cluster, quite interesting. You have a mix of analog and digital. So you have a digital tach and you have an analog speedometer. And the digital tach can actually be customized to show different things. So you can actually show the fuel economy, you can show the range and fuel, speed and time, audio, phone, navigation, driver attention, the all-wheel drive torque distribution, the seat belts, maintenance, etc. So it does have quite a lot of features in there. Speaking of which, the heads-up display as well, pretty useful, so you don't have to take your eyes off the road to see the speed. So yeah, overall the interior is quite well equipped. What else have I missed out on? Center armrest got tons of space, I've said all of that. You do get auto dimming rear view mirrors. One feature on the old CR-V, which is now no longer there, was those convex mirrors which you could use to see a view behind. For example, let's say you have kids in the back seat, you could actually see what's going on through a convex mirror. That's no longer there. And personally, I think that was one of the quirks of the CRV, which I really loved. They should have kept that. However, now you only have a sunglass holder. You do get a panoramic sunroof, so that can be opened using the switches over here. I'm not going to open it now because it's hot. And yeah, you've got white lights, LEDs. You've also got mirrors with no light for both the driver and passenger sunblinds as well. So yeah, that's pretty much it for the interiors. So coming to the second row of seats, well actually this is my very first time in the second row, so let's discover the features together. So AC vents, yes, that's pretty good. You've got 2 AC vents, 2 USB-C ports for charging, which is quite nice. You do get ambient lighting actually over here, so it's there on the front door as well. So it looks quite great. You've also got space in the door, so you've got a large enough bottle holder. You've also got some space in the door cards. You've got seat pockets behind both the driver and passenger seats, so that's great. And in terms of actual seating position, well, under thigh support is actually all right. I have enough knee room, I have enough wiggle space for my feet. Headroom is also quite adequate, it's not bad. And yeah, it does feel quite airy in here, and if you keep the panoramic sunroof open, it lets more light into the cabin, so overall it does feel quite airy here in the back. Then what else? You have a center armrest. Of course, you gotta have a center armrest with 2 cup holders, so that feels great. And unlike some cars where the whole center seat comes down, this only has a separate center armrest, which is pretty nice. And what else? You actually got additional AC vents. So you've got 2 AC vents here in the back. But yeah, this is great. So it does help in cooling the third row, and you also have 1 more vent for yourself to cool the second row. So overall, that's a win. And in terms of actual adjustment, well, it can be adjusted for incline, which is great. So the greenhouse area is actually perfect, a lot of space. So yeah, it's a thumbs up for me. Well, now let's see how to access the third row of seats on the Honda CR-V. So the first thing that you notice is that the doors at the back open almost 90 degrees, making it easy to take child seats in and out of the car, and even load things in and out of the car. So overall, it's quite spacious in that way. So let's see how to access the third row. So let me get my iPhone camera out. So you have a lever right here, which if you pull, you can do the whole mechanism in just one step. So just pull this lever right here and you can do the whole mechanism in just one step. So it slides forward and stays there. And then you have your side steps, which are actually now useful to climb in, and you can get into the back. So these seats were actually put all the way back for demonstration purposes, but yeah, we can see these seats now. So yeah, this is about how much space I have in the back if I put the second row of seats down. There still is, well yeah, there isn't much legroom there in the front. So yeah, once I push the seat a bit more back, yeah, the space here in the back isn't really that great. Obviously, under thigh support is non-existent, and yeah, it's a bit cramped here in the back. So yeah, I would say the third row is best suited for children. So yeah, not a lot of space. That even headroom is all right. At least I've got AC vents, so I'm not going to be feeling hot in here. So yeah, that's great. There's also a small place to store some drinks as well. So you have a thing here which can be used to keep your bottle. So yeah, that's pretty much it for amenities in the back. So as you can see, these seats are completely inclined back and pushed all the way behind, and yeah, there's not a lot of space. So yeah, I guess if you just create a compromise between the second row and third row passengers and push the seat a bit front, then yep, you will have enough space. Driving thoughts on the CR-V. So it's pretty interesting actually. There has been a few changes that they have done. I think in terms of the spring rate and suspension, they've changed a few things. The engine is again different. You now get a 1.5 litre turbocharged 4-cylinder. Before it used to be a 2.4 litre naturally aspirated unit. In fact, the same 1.5 litre turbo was available for the previous generation in like US, but we couldn't get it here for some reason. But yeah, I mean, this engine is fine. You know, it's got a decent response. So it's got 190 horsepower, 244 newton meters of torque, which is roughly about the same numbers as the old CR-V's engine as well. So, you know, it's pretty all right. You know, it's got sufficient power to execute your overtakes, getting in and out of the fast lane. merging into highways, no problem. It's mated to a CVT gearbox that pushes power to all four wheels if required through an all-wheel drive system. So yeah, this is the full option touring all-wheel drive, so it comes with the all-wheel drive system as well, which is actually not bad. It's pretty capable. We actually took it to a beach to do a photo shoot, and it handled these soft bits pretty well. So I would say that, yeah, for your weekend getaway, the all-wheel drive is fine. You just can't do dune bashing with it. But other than that, for the actual engine, it's got sufficient grunt. It's not really underpowered. It could do with a bit more power, and especially when you get on the throttle, with the CVT and the engine together, it does get a bit vocal, but it's not too bad. I mean, I can live with it. Very comfortable car to drive. It's just a nice place to be in. I mean, it's got the typical Honda qualities like, the build quality, practicality, fuel economy. I'm getting like 9 to 10 kilometers per liter in city traffic, and north of 12 kilometers per liter on the highway. So you can actually achieve close to claimed figures. The claim figure is like 14.8 kilometers per liter. So yeah, it's not bad. Fuel economy is actually pretty decent. But other than that, it's overall a great car to drive. Steering, for example, pretty communicative. It does give me the feedback that I want. Brakes are also quite nice. They do have a decent feedback as well. They're not too eager, or they're not too spirited in terms of the calibration, but it is confidence inspiring. You can come to a stop pretty safely. So I'm coming to a bump right now, and I apply the brakes. I can exactly predict how the car is going to stop, and that's what I want. These are confidence inspiring brakes. The seats, comfortable. Highway cruises, city, no problem. You're stuck in traffic for like 2 hours, not an issue at all. Pretty comfortable. So overall, yeah, comfort wise, this is a really nice car to drive. Air conditioning, brilliant. I'm not praising the car, but I'm actually saying air conditioning is really good. I mean, even the ride on the 18-inch wheels, they are all right. Nothing to complain about. Visibility is all around great. You get all of the Honda sensing features, so adaptive cruise control, lane keep assist. It's got the Honda lane watch system, so if you actually indicate to turn towards the right, it'll bring up a feed from a camera which is located under the passenger side rear view mirror. So that's again pretty useful. But the one thing I don't like about it is that when you are trying to, for example, use navigation and try to get somewhere, and you're changing a lane and you won't see where you're going, this camera takes up the whole screen, so you can't really see where you're going. So that's the one drawback. But other than that, very useful system. But there are some thoughtful things that Honda have done in terms of integrating these features. For example, if you want to see the blind spot view while you're just driving along on the highway, you can just click a small button on the left stalk, and that will bring up a feed from underneath the mirror. So that's actually pretty thoughtful. These are things that Honda do to give you that very good user interface and user experience, which I really like. There's even a button for the 360-degree camera on the right indicator stalk as well, which again can be used to bring up the camera when you're in a parking, for example. So that's pretty thoughtful. That's again Honda qualities that you see in the cabin of a car. No blind spot warning, which is actually pretty surprising. I don't see a blind spot indicator anywhere. So yeah, no blind spot warnings. That's kind of interesting. It has lane watch, but it doesn't have that, because most cars usually of this segment will have blind spot indicators as well. Auto dimming rear view mirrors. Yeah, I mean, it's got the usual set of features that you want, but other than that, it's just a great cruiser. It's a great comfortable family car. If you care about practicality, good fuel economy, and lots of space, a good AC, good visibility all around, then this is a car that you need. It's a simple car to live with, and it meets all of your needs, and it's got decent all-wheel drive capability for your weekend getaways. So yeah, that kind of sums up my thoughts of the Honda CR-V. So if you enjoyed this review, don't forget to hit the subscribe button, and comment down below which car you'd like to see next on this channel. Once again, stay safe, have a great day, goodbye.